Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hotla Mode, and today on Hotla Mode we're getting into the trend report from fashion's biggest night, and it's all thanks to eBay, who's today's sponsor. Now, the most iconic fashion red carpet of the year happened, and it celebrated the importance and the historical context of the Black Dandy. And so I want to talk about 5 different trends that actually showed up throughout the night that I noticed that I think are important to highlight. Now, it's very clear the most important trend of the evening was suiting, in all forms. You had jackets, you had dresses that looked like jackets, suits were covered in crystals, sometimes they were covered in capes, and there were a lot of color variations too. And I fear that I also might be helping to push the trend, so you might be seeing a little bit more suiting in the future. But the great thing was there was such a varied array of suiting styles. Now, as you can probably see, I am wearing a little bit of a suit, and I'm going to be shopping for some in the future. There are some really nice ones, like there's this beautiful baggy Marc Jacobs style that I saw that I'm like, ugh, I need it. I'm also yearning for this beautifully tailored Savile Row Oswald Boateng coat. It's this luscious gray. It has this sort of 18th, 19th century cut to it as well. There's also just a lot of fun ways to play into the suit. I mean, the dice jacket here by Patrick Kelly, I'm obsessed with. And as I was scrolling through eBay, did I find a Dapper Dan tuxedo jacket with a beautiful little shawl lapel from his shop on West 14th Street, and then did a deep dive into that shop. Absolutely. So there's actually quite a lot here in terms of suiting that you can get into. Another thing I'm going to need to start to wear are hats. There were a lot on the carpet, but there was also, again, a wide variety. We saw different little beret styles. We saw a lot of these beautiful top hats that are very structured and sharp. I personally love that sort of red wool style on Andre 3000. But again, I found a bunch of them on eBay that I was kind of super into. The thing is, hats like this aren't that difficult to recreate if you're buying them pre-loved. I mean, there's this gorgeous Vivienne Westwood red beret in this luscious little wool that I'm like, ooh, I could be Andre if I wanted. And don't even get me started on the buffalo hat by Westwood and this Louis Vuitton Virgil Abloh era shearling top hat. Okay, all right, I might be wearing that all times of year. And when you talk about hats, you have to talk about Philip Treacy. I mean, there are these beautiful wool fedora styles, but there's just something like magical about a big, tall hat. I think it heightens, it makes your posture better. It just like forces you to stand with your head held high. And speaking of trends, that we saw ties. Ties are having a moment. I actually bought this little red and blue polka dot style from eBay. I actually got it in a batch. It's a big, beautiful batch. It's by Paul Stewart, and I normally am never into like funky polka dots, but here we are. I'm changing. I'm adapting. I fear that this Met Gala has changed my style for a while. Now, clearly people got into their ties. Some were regular ties, some were bows, some were scarves as ties. Demi Moore was a tie. Like, she wasn't wearing, well, she was wearing a tie, but she also was a tie. It was a whole rigmarole. I mean, Coleman Domingo and Rihanna had these sort of polka dot cravats, and I didn't want that to rhyme, but it did. And Doechii did this luscious little sort of big bow in burgundy. But again, as I said, like from personal experience, eBay is the place to go if you want an interesting tie. I mean, this beautiful Virgil Abloh era Louis Vuitton style that just subtly says LV really, really smallly is kind of lush. And I don't know what this Gautier tie is depicting, and I might not want to know, but I like this sort of tie-dye effect. You can also find these vintage cravats if you don't want just a regular sort of long tie. You can have a little bit of an affect. And I've been finding a lot of scarves that I'm going to start to figure out how to tie into ties as well. This beautiful Valentino one is quite graphic, and I feel like that mixture is going to help me. But again, it's all because people were wearing these beautiful, different styles of ties during the red carpet. And speaking of accessories, the brooches and the pins, I think that was a real like ding, 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 ding moment for me, is that I don't own enough brooches or pins. I mean, Chance the Rapper sort of putting a trio down his lapel. Ncuti Gatwa having like a pin with a big sort of teardrop diamond crystal moment right underneath his pocket square. And also Paul Tazwell had this sort of trio as well. It just was like an interesting, I feel like, subtle trend that happened, but something that I feel I need to be into. I've been looking at old costume jewelry, and I feel like brands like YSL have these really lovely sort of styles. They're big and they're bold and they play into the historical references. I like the star one. It's quite bright. I also saw this beautiful Tiffany & Co. by Elsa Peretti flower holster brooch, so you can like put your own little flower in it, and I'm like, oh, so you can like have a 2-for-1 in that regard. I was kind of amazed at like the variety of these brooches and the fact that people are not purchasing them. And I'm like, oh, I might need to become a collector. There was one that I also really thought would be cool is these zip ties from Off-White that maybe if you put it into the little sort of pocket square sleeve thing, whatever this doohickey is called here on my lapel, like you can just slip it in there and it almost looks like the tag is still on the jacket. And also we obviously have to talk about dramatic coats because there were a lot that evening. I'm currently like going for the vibe in this lovely little paisley style that I bought on eBay. Again, like I was prepared for this exhibit and then I was validated by the red carpet too. Diana Ross in this gigantic sort of shawl, coat, cape. I mean, Tyla referencing the legendary Andre Leon Talley and her look. Coleman Domingo's first of 2 looks also. That beautiful pleated blue cape. I mean, Lauryn Hill. Teyana Taylor's Harlem Rose style. Lakeith Stanfield. He also had a great hat. I don't know, people. I have my eye on a trio of blue, yellow, and red silk smoking jackets that are all vintage that I'm like, I need them. It's gonna become a problem. It's gonna become an issue. And I feel like when I put them with any of my suits, I'm gonna be so chic and so wonderful. There was like a lot of good trends this year that are actually actionable in your own wardrobe. And if you're going on eBay to like find beautiful pre-loved pieces, I promise you won't be disappointed because a lot of these I found within few hours after the Met because they're just like, ooh, they might be added to the cart, so you better get a looking, people. I want to thank eBay for letting me do this video. Honestly, I think it's really fun and cool to sort of incorporate the ways that these pieces actually work truly in your own wardrobe, even though they're on the carpet first. Listen, people, happy shopping because there's good stuff. So thank you so much, as always, for watching, peeps. I will see you guys in the next video, and TTYL.